Hello, I'm jumping on here to share some topic that I'm absolutely passionate about. I was a nutritionist for many years. Some of you may know that, and I also am fully recovered eating addict. I used to do a lot of overeating and sabotage my health with unhealthy habits such as chronic dieting and obsessive exercising. So I just wanted to come on here to let you know that some of us, maybe this time of year especially, coming up to Christmas and the festive season, may do a lot more eating than is usual, or perhaps you feel yourself get a little overwhelmed this time of year, particularly around food and just the energy collectively of people around you. Even when you just walk to the shops to collect some food for yourself, you're noticing this tension and anxiety in people in the car parking, and there's just so much stress, the accumulated stress, let's call it, of the year. But what is much more highlighted for me in that is actually it's not just the stress, but it's the attention, it's the awareness or the lack of awareness that collectively is what's making, I suppose, the stress a far more negative impact on our health and our well-being. So I just am jumping on here because I've got a beautiful exercise that I want to share with you. Perhaps you can take on for yourself, and we're going to do it together today. And it's specifically around really tuning in to our hunger and fullness signals. So if you don't know what that is, ever since we're a baby, we actually have this internal mechanisms that actually lets us know when we're full and also when we're hungry. Just have a look at babies. Before they can actually speak, before there is actually language, in the first few months, they cry. Or when a mother is actually feeding their child, whether that's breast milk or any food, you may notice, or you may have seen, that when they're full, they will let you know. And they will do that by either pushing the spoon away or actually taking their mouth away from the breast or the nipple. Yeah, so some of you might be familiar with this concept. So I'm sharing this so you know this is actually an instinctual mechanism. So we have hunger as well as fullness signals, which give feedback to our brain to let us know when we should start eating and when we should stop eating. Now, in our culture today, these signals, let me just say, has been completely numbed. Most of us have forgotten what it feels like to be actually hungry and actually full. So I am absolutely passionate about health at every size, which is a movement, HAES, that I've been following for probably a decade now. And the beautiful teacher and PhD scientist, Dr. Linda Bacon, if you don't know who she is, find out about her. I've got her book, and she is a wealth of amazing wisdom and education around changing the stigmatization around being fat, being thin, and she really believes in this thing called being healthy at any size, okay, any shape, any body size, and she has science to back this. Now, this movement has actually been so powerful in my life, in my personal journey, that I'm actually going to share as we go along for some of you who are currently dealing with perhaps it's emotional eating disorder, or perhaps it's overeating. It could even be obsessive exercising. Yeah, so exercising with the intention of trying to lose weight, okay, or trying to get rid of excessive food consumption and the calories that you consume from it. Yeah, so this can be a cycle which can jam us, lock us up, and actually have extremely detrimental health effects. All right, so not only from an emotional and psychological point of view, but absolutely from the biological point of view as well, because what we're actually doing is not listening and tuning into our body's signals, tuning in and really tapping and sensing into what you need. Because if you have a look at what emotional eating is, all it really is you're not feeding your needs. Yeah, there is an absolute deeper underlying need that is not being met. So that would be the, let's call it the food or the overeating or the over exercising, or even if it's alcohol. You know, there's a lot of people that turn to other forms of numbing agents. All it's doing, they're masking the feelings, okay, generally to do with discomfort or pain or any array of emotions that we just are not willing to feel in our body, and we kind of push away, we push aside. Generally we will turn to those substances. All right, so we are going to do a really beautiful exercise today, and I've actually got myself one of my favorite chocolate. It's 70% dark chocolate, and I'm going to do this exercise with you. So if you've got some chocolate at home or a truffle, whatever it is, just make sure it's extremely pleasurable to your taste buds. All right, I want you to try this exercise for yourself if you haven't already. And the purpose of this exercise is to really observe with your full attention, full presence, the taste of the bite you are going to take. Now, in our mouth, we have extremely intelligent digestive enzymes, saliva, and these help break down the food. But not only that, these enzymes, digestive enzymes, act as a feedback mechanism, a loop, if you wish, feedback loop to the brain, actually to the hypothalamus, which is in the center of our brain, which gives us feedback to let us know whether we should continue eating, whether this food is good for us, and whether we should stop eating. So it is a very intelligent system that we have. But when we're not eating with awareness, when we're not giving full presence and attention to how we're feeling in our body when we're eating, sometimes this can lead to overeating, and what ends up happening is, before you know it, you've finished the whole chocolate bar, the block of it, or the ice cream tub, whatever your choice is. Okay, so when we do a lot of what we call unconscious eating, it can lead to overeating. But not only that, it can actually be very unfulfilling. Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of this exercise we're going to do. You will notice only after 1 or 2, maybe 3 bites of eating, this is dark chocolate, but only after a couple of bites of eating it, it is very likely that I am not going to want to continue to eat, okay? Because what you will recognize is that it is very bitter. So when you actually take the time to chew, when you actually take the time to let the food sit in the mouth before you swallow it and really break it down in the mouth before swallowing, you will actually feel satiated. Yeah, a lot more satiated, which is a sense of fulfillment, and you actually don't feel the need to turn to eating more of it. Now, warning, I'm just going to give you a little note here. If you are currently dealing with chronic eating disorder or if you're an emotional eater and have been for several years, and this is the first time that you're even hearing this conversation, I want you to know that this is actually, this can actually take some time, you know. So we're going to introduce a lot of self-compassion, a lot of self-awareness through meditation, through the embodiment practices that we're actually going to practice together on this journey. This is actually what's going to help you integrate, yeah, and learn and digest all the needs that you require from within, so that you're not feeling like you need to outsource it. Or when you do outsource it, for instance, food or chocolate, it will be from a place of feeling full already and from a place of awareness, your full presence. Okay? So if you've got your chocolate or your choice of something delicious, what you're going to do, just like I'm doing here, is just take a little piece, and before you do anything, you're going to smell it. So just bring it up to your nose. Oh, and take in the beautiful aroma. This is incredible dark chocolate. And really take that in. So just breathe this chocolate into your nose, and you'll feel it actually enter into your stomach, all the way perhaps even down into the belly. It bloody smells so good. So then what you're going to do is take a bite. Don't swallow. Just move the chocolate. The flavors. Let it sit in your mouth. And when it becomes nice and moist and liquid, you can begin to swallow. And maybe even trace with your fingertips down your food pipe. Become fully aware of where this is going in your tummy. And maybe take your hands and circle it around your belly button. So what you're doing is not only loving yourself, but you're gathering this beautiful chi, this elixir of your saliva, and this incredible nutritious, the minerals, and you're savoring the nutrients from this food. And you're taking it around your beautiful belly button or your dantian point, and you're gathering chi, which is prana, life force energy. And then just pause. So just pausing. And you might like to close your eyes. And I know this might sound a little like exaggerated. You're not expected to do this with all your food and meals, okay? So just practice this for a little while and just get a sense of how this feels in your body. Just this small, short, simple exercise with chocolate. And then just tune into the sensations of your body. How does that feel? Right now I'm feeling so much pleasure. There's a joy from within that makes me smile. Chocolate makes me feel good. And I'm actually still noticing the taste, the after effect in my mouth. It's so bitter. 70% dark chocolate. Or any chocolate for that matter. You might notice if it's something a bit sweeter. You might notice the lingering effects in your mouth, and your taste buds are fully active. So I'm noticing that right now. My tongue, I'm noticing around my mouth and my gums, just picking up the little remnants of the savoring of this tasteful chocolate in my mouth. Yum. Yeah. So according to Dr. Linda Bacon, from the Health at Every Size movement, and this incredible science research that she's done, and she actually, I've got this exercise from her, this chocolate eating exercise. What she actually suggests is when we continue to eat in an unconscious manner, so if we eat, say for instance, chocolate without our full awareness, it can lead to overeating, as I said. But there is an actual instinctual mechanism in our body, in our brains, that passed down from generations, our ancestors, which was a survival mechanism to let us know when we were full. Yeah? And there is this thing called alliesthesia, as Dr. Linda Bacon puts it. Alliesthesia, which is pretty much the numbing of our taste buds. So I'm actually noticing that right now in my mouth after having just that little piece of chocolate, how bitter that is on the tip of my tongue. and I actually feel good about stopping there. I don't feel the need to actually have another bite right now. I might if I choose to, but right now I don't feel the need to do that. Yeah. So this is conscious awareness. This is eating consciously and bringing awareness to how you're feeling. As I said, it might seem like you're exaggerating initially, like who has the time to sit there eating a meal and really taking this long to chew, to swallow, to digest, and to feel. Initially, it feels like you are exaggerating, but I promise you, the more and more you practice this, it will become so integrated or embodied, as I like to call it. You will embody this awareness of eating in your body that you will not even recognize the time. It will just be how you live and breathe and how you eat. Okay? So that's a really great start. I'm going to leave you with that. I would love to hear your experience. Okay? So please, please, please share. This community, this container is exactly for that. So whatever it is that you're experiencing or the journey that you're going through, what emotions are coming up for you, I really want to support you in that, and our sisterhood will support each other in this space. So feel free to come on live if you want to be seen, if you want to speak into video, please do that. I'm encouraging you, and share. You're welcome to share your fears, you're welcome to share your excitement, whatever is there for you that you need support with. Yeah, just know I've got your back, and I'm really looking forward to riding this journey with you. So I'm going to leave you with that, beauties, and I will reconnect with you soon.